They built their pool pump on my wall, so I built my case on theirs. My townhouse sat at the end of a 4-unit row built in 1984, concrete block with a shared firewall down the center. The backyard was narrow, 24 feet from sliding door to rear fence, and paved halfway with old terracotta tiles my father had laid before he passed. The wall separating my yard from the next unit was 8 inches thick, painted cream, and carried both our electrical conduits. It was solid, private, and until last spring, perfectly quiet. The new neighbors, Greg and Dana, bought the adjoining unit in March. He ran a home renovation consultancy, which mostly meant he had opinions about other people's houses. On his first day, he leaned over my fence and said, "We'll be upgrading this whole place. Hope you don't mind a little progress next door." I told him as long as he stayed on his side, we'd have no issue. He laughed and said, "Lines are just guidelines, right?" 2 weeks later, I came home from a work trip to the drone of machinery. A gray fiberglass box the size of a washing machine was bolted directly onto my wall, humming like an airplane. Blue PVC pipes ran from it into the ground toward their newly dug pool. My wall was now vibrating. I knocked on their door. Greg answered in sunglasses and said, "It's just the pump housing. Easier to mount on your wall, it's sturdier. You'll barely notice it once you get used to it." I didn't argue. I photographed every angle, the bolts, the conduit, the discoloration from adhesive sealant. That night I pulled my property file, the 1984 survey, the shared wall clause, and the municipal noise ordinance. I called a structural engineer I'd used before. He arrived midweek, measured vibration levels, and said simply, "They've attached mechanical equipment to a non-permitted structure. That's a code violation and a boundary encroachment." Greg's lawyer sent me an email offering to offset my inconvenience with a $300 gift card if I'd sign a liability waiver. I replied with none of my own words, only the engineer's report and a request for immediate removal under Section 8214 of the City Building Code. The compliance inspector came the following Monday with a clipboard and decibel meter. After 10 minutes, he said, "This unit is mounted on the wrong parcel and exceeds the residential noise limit by 12 decibels. They have 10 days to relocate or face citation." On the 10th morning, a white service truck arrived. 2 technicians unbolted the pump, capped the pipes, and patched my wall with fresh stucco. The inspector signed off the repair, noted compliance, and left without ceremony. Greg watched from his deck, red-faced, phone in hand. He muttered about lawsuits until the inspector turned and said, "You're in full violation. I'd advise silence." He was. Now the wall stands smooth again, quiet and perfectly still.